So, Camila Parker Bowles is Queen Consort, wearing the crown and living in a royal palace. Yet reports claim that her own son was stopped at the gates of Windsor Castle while her husband was king. The person said to have made that decision was Prince William. That is where this story begins, and it becomes even more complicated from there. According to these reports, it was not a scheduling mistake or a security misunderstanding. It was presented as a deliberate decision by the future king to make a clear statement about who belongs inside the royal family's inner circle and who does not. On the other side of that decision was the son of his father's wife. If you enjoy stories about the royal family and the events behind the headlines, subscribe to Inside the Palace and follow along as these stories continue to develop. According to the reports, everything came to a head during a grand royal event at Windsor Castle known as the Windsor Charity Gala. The evening was meant to display the monarchy at its finest, with distinguished guests, members of the aristocracy, international supporters, and other important figures attending. Behind the scenes, Camilla was reportedly hoping that her eldest son, Tom Parker Bowles, would be included as one of the honored guests. Tom Parker Bowles was already familiar with royal circles. As a respected food writer and author, he had attended family gatherings over the years, although never as an official member of the royal family. Reports claim that Camilla believed becoming Queen Consort was a right time for her children to become more closely connected with royal life, beginning with Tom attending major royal events. She is said to have raised the matter with King Charles, hoping he would persuade William to agree. William, however, reportedly saw the issue very differently. To him, this was not a private family dinner but a major royal occasion filled with history and symbolism. He has often been described as someone who believes every photograph, every guest list, and every seating arrangement sends a message about who represents the monarchy. When the final guest list was completed, Tom Parker Bowles was reportedly not included. According to these accounts, Camilla tried every possible way to change the decision, but William refused. On the evening of the gala, guests arrived in formal clothing as cameras flashed and cars entered the gates of Windsor Castle. Reports claim that Tom Parker Bowles attempted to enter with Camilla's group, but was stopped by security officers following clear instructions. Witnesses described the moment as deeply uncomfortable, with Tom appearing surprised as he was politely refused entry while other guests continued into the castle. Inside, Camilla reportedly continued smiling for the cameras and carrying out her royal role, even though those present believed she was deeply hurt. Some claimed her expression showed signs of tension and that she appeared shaken throughout the evening. Rather than being handled quietly behind closed doors, the reported incident became one of the most talked-about moments of the event. After the gala ended and the cameras were gone, reports suggested that Camilla became emotional in private. People said to have witnessed the moment claimed she sat down inside the castle feeling deeply hurt, not only as queen but also as a mother. One account even suggested she struggled to believe William had actually gone through with the decision. Whether those descriptions are completely accurate or not, the reports all pointed in the same direction. William had reportedly made a firm decision, and Tom Parker Bowles was not allowed to take part in a royal event that Camilla herself had helped organize. According to these stories, the decision created a clear boundary between Camilla's family and the monarchy's inner circle. Camilla was even quoted as saying to aides, "I thought we were past this. I thought we were family." That reported remark reflected the difference between how she understood her position as Queen Consort and how William was said to view it. She may have believed that becoming queen would finally bring her children full acceptance within royal life. The reported decision suggested that William saw things very differently, believing that titles alone could not erase the past. To understand why William is said to have taken such a firm position, many commentators point to the greatest influence in his life, Princess Diana. Although Diana died in 1997, people close to William have often said that her memory has remained one of the strongest forces shaping his decisions. More than any royal title, Diana helped shape the man William became. He was not only the future king, but also the son of a woman loved by millions who experienced great pain during her marriage. As a young boy, William watched his mother struggle through public criticism, intense media attention, and the breakdown of her marriage. He grew up hearing about betrayal, family conflict, and the role Camilla played in that difficult chapter of his parents' lives. Diana's death left a lasting impact on him, one that many believe still influences his thinking today. Those who know William often describe him as someone determined to protect his own family and ensure that the mistakes of the past are never repeated. He has tried to honor Diana's memory not through public arguments, but through careful and thoughtful decisions. Within that emotional background, Camilla has always occupied a difficult place. Despite years of public efforts to improve her image, many believe William has never forgotten the role she played in his mother's story. While he has appeared polite and respectful toward Camilla in public, supported her becoming Queen Consort, and treated her with courtesy during official events, reports have long suggested that their relationship has remained formal. According to palace insiders, William accepted that Camilla made his father happy but never viewed her as someone who should shape the future of the monarchy. As Camilla's position continued to grow, moving from Duchess of Cornwall to Queen Consort, William reportedly became even more determined to protect what Diana represented. To him, Diana's place in royal history was deeply important, and he did not want that legacy overshadowed or gradually forgotten. From that point of view, Camilla's reported efforts to include her own family in official royal occasions, beginning with Tom Parker Bowles, were never simply about invitations. They touched on something much deeper. Reports suggest William believed that placing Camilla's son alongside members of the royal family at major public events would blur important lines and slowly reshape the public story of the monarchy in a way he was not prepared to accept. William reportedly believed the issue was never about Tom Parker Bowles personally, but about what his presence represented. According to palace insiders, William saw it as an attempt to gradually give Camilla's family a more official place within the royal family, something he did not support. Those who know William describe him as calm and measured, saying he did not argue or raise his voice when Camilla made a request. He simply declined, reportedly saying, "This isn't about the guest list. It's about what we stand for." Supporters say William has always focused on protecting the future of the monarchy and preserving Princess Diana's legacy rather than acting out of personal feelings. In this version of events, refusing Tom Parker Bowles' entry was presented as a symbolic decision that reinforced clear boundaries around the institution. But the story did not end there. Only weeks later, another decision reportedly affected someone even closer to Camilla, her sister, Annabel Elliot. For nearly 2 decades, Annabel had worked as an interior designer on projects across the Duchy of Cornwall during King Charles's time as Duke of Cornwall, overseeing the restoration of historic properties and receiving substantial professional payments for her work. When Charles became king in 2022 and control of the duchy passed to Prince William, reports claimed William chose not to renew Annabel's long-standing contract for the 2023 to 2024 financial year. There was no public announcement, only her quiet departure from the royal payroll. While officials described the move as part of normal administrative changes, many royal commentators believed it reflected William's determination to reshape the monarchy. Palace insiders claimed Camilla was deeply hurt, viewing the decision not as a financial matter but as a message that her family's influence within the institution was coming to an end. With her son reportedly excluded from a major royal event and her sister no longer working for the duchy, some observers saw a clear pattern emerging. According to this interpretation, William was quietly redefining the boundaries of the monarchy by limiting the role of relatives connected through marriage and placing greater emphasis on the direct royal line. Since becoming Prince of Wales, he has reportedly focused on building a smaller, more clearly defined institution while balancing respect for his father's reign with his own vision for the future of the crown. A stepmother whose place in the royal family has remained controversial despite the passing of many years. A younger brother who has stepped away from royal duties. A public increasingly divided over the future of the monarchy. According to palace insiders, William believed protecting the crown's long-term future requires more than public approval. It requires clear boundaries, a strong focus on the direct line of succession, and strict separation between the institution and extended family members. From his perspective, Camilla's growing influence, along with reported efforts to include her family more prominently in royal life, risked blurring those boundaries. As a result, when Camilla reportedly asked for Tom Parker Bowles to attend the Windsor charity gala, William is said to have viewed it as more than a simple family request. He reportedly saw it as a test of where the line would be drawn and responded by maintaining that boundary. Supporters of William argue that his message has remained consistent. Royal status is defined by lineage, duty, and constitutional role rather than marriage or family connections. Since taking control of the Duchy of Cornwall, he has also been credited with introducing a leaner management style, reducing long-standing appointments, streamlining spending, and placing greater emphasis on transparency. Many observers believe these changes reflect a broader vision of a smaller and more focused monarchy. Publicly, William continues to present himself as a devoted husband, father, and future king, but behind the scenes he is widely seen as carefully shaping the institution he expects to inherit. Within that vision, Camilla remains an important public figure as Queen Consort, but some commentators believe her influence over the future direction of the monarchy is becoming increasingly limited. Reports suggest she has responded quietly to these developments, avoiding public disagreement while carrying out her royal duties. According to this interpretation, the reported exclusion of Tom Parker Bowles, the non-renewal of Annabel Elliott's duchy contract, and other similar decisions are not isolated incidents but part of William's long-term plan to define the monarchy on his own terms. Whether or not that interpretation is accurate remains open to debate, but many royal commentators view these reported events as evidence of a gradual shift in influence as William prepares for the responsibilities of a future reign.